guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Weak Hero. We're now on season 2, episode 3. So in the last episode 4, season 2, episode 4. My bad. So yes, in the last episode, we see that our boy Xian is kind of, sort of, maybe making friends against his will. The fight that he got into with, I always forget the name of Baku's friend there, and Baku, and of course, you know, the village idiot, that didn't turn out well, and it got back to the school, and because it happened in school uniforms, they've been sent to do community service, and basically Xian didn't want to do it, but spending time with the guys in kind of a more relaxed environment that wasn't around school, Xian found himself actually enjoying himself and realizing that maybe, just maybe, having friends isn't the worst thing in the world. But then he went, while he was volunteering, he got a visit from one of the lackeys that's part of this giant gang called, what were they called again? The Guild or something? I don't remember. But anyways, he got a visit from this guy, and unsurprisingly, Xian just is a magnet for craziness. So this guy now has Xian on his radar, and he did his homework on him. And the last we saw, he followed Xian to the hospital where he was visiting Suo, and basically told him he wanted to talk to him outside. So I don't know if he's trying to pick a fight with him or recruit him, or probably a little of both, but let's jump in and find out. So that's what we'll do. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to know when I drop episodes, please hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And remember, you can also watch uncut episodes in full on my Patreon if you are interested. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Oh, he brought him back to headquarters. Xian, how do you keep attracting this kind of craziness? And honestly, the only reason he's going with this guy is because he's mentioned Suo, his trigger. He's really got to learn to. Anyway, what you want? You're looking at me, bro. Oh, men like him are just disgust me. Not just men, people who are like that. Like, it's not my problem that you hate yourself, that your mom never breastfed you. Like, get a life. Leave me alone.
한 번만 말할게. 잘 들어.
잘 들어.
니들도 무슨 짓 하건 관심 없고 여기까지 올 필요도 없었거든.
Period.
한수호 병원 근처에 또 나타나면
Suho's hospital. He owns the whole thing?
내가 다 죽여버릴 거라고.
Okay. Well, clear, concise, to the point. We appreciate it. And like I say,
변수부터 분리해야 빨리 풀 수 있어.
Oh, he's better at math than you do.
정해진 변수는 상수랑 다르잖아.
He's smarter than you. That's what's gonna piss him off now. That you're not a dummy.
후민이 옆에서 알짱대지 말라고.
I think Human's the one who's hanging out with him, but okay.
너도 지켜.
Does he look like the kind of person who cares about his word? But I appreciate it. Like, Xian, you know what? At first, I was going to say it was not smart for him to go, but you know what? I do think it is good for him to separate himself, because he really was pulled into this. Human is the one who's all over him, right? Him, Baku, all those guys, they're the ones who are like making a point to hang out with him, not the other way around. And poor Xian is just picking up the slack because homie doesn't know how to smile and beg. But yeah, we'll see how well that goes though, because like I said, these are not boys who just leave Xian alone, like ever. And Baku's gonna be pissed that this guy threatened him and didn't let him hang out with him. My name's not Hya.
눈깔 다 뽑기 전에.
Okay, bye.
이럴 거면 뭐하러 데려오라고 했냐?
Wanted to find out whose side he was on. But maybe he wants a math tutor now.
바쿠 새끼를 힘으로 누른다고 안 되는 거 알잖아. 어?
See, what happens
찾아오게 해야지.
where you're in a minion, you need to shut up. I'm somewhat curious as to what this guy's obsession is with Baku, though. What did Baku do? Did he kick his ass for the first time and he still doesn't let that go? Uh-oh, is this dad drunk, though?
그러니까 가서 얘기하시라니까요. 학생들한테 술 파는 건 맞잖아. 어? 뭘 진짜.
Oh, those are his little lackeys. Came to get your dad in trouble, get him arrested, mess with his business. Maybe lose his liquor license.
그 백진이 형이 보고 싶다고 전해달래.
Now you understand. He's gonna mess with every aspect of your life because he wants to humble you. Oh, the timing. Will you take the bait? This is hard though because he's messing with his family.
나백진 만났어.
He told me to stop hanging out
이혼하고
with you,
있는 애.
and I'm going to.
너네가 누구랑 뭐 하든 간에 상관없으니까 나는 빼줘.
Hmm.
난 너네처럼 한가지도 않고 할 일도 많으니까 니들끼리 놀라고
Right?
아는 척하지 말자고.
Yeah. I mean, this is rough, but I don't blame him. Sheehan is about to get his butt whooped for no reason by some psycho.
알겠어.
Thank you, Baku. You
앞으로 안
understand.
척하지 말자.
Right? Like, Sheehan has really tried to mind his business since the beginning of the year.
난 혼자가 편하다고.
But just because you're comfortable doesn't mean that it's good for you. Those things are not one and the same. You can be comfortable with things that are very toxic just because they're familiar. That does not mean they're good. He is definitely too alone, but in this situation, Baku, not a good friend to have. Just in the sense of he just wants to get through the damn semester. Sheep.
야 근데 성재 어딨냐?
Pathetic. Can't think for yourselves. Oh, okay, but now he realizes they're probably going after them. Another choice to make. Do you actually leave it alone or do you do something to warn them? Call me crazy, but if
있더라.
I always know that people fight in this area, there's no way I'm walking this way home ever again. Like ever.
오랜만이다.
God, what are you?
무릎은 괜찮고?
나백진 따까리 짓 하는 거?
Exactly. You were nothing but a little.
재밌어.
You know that, right?
네. 쫄려? 준대.
Well, geez, most people would be scared if you have 4-on-1, 5-on-1, actually. But I know they're doing this so that Baku doesn't do any, like he wants to leave Baku isolated.
지랄도 풍년이야 풍년.
Keep smoking. Can you actually do the entire pack at once, please? Inhale deeply. Maybe vape too. How about drugs? Hard drugs? Please do them all.
눈에 힘 빼. 족밥 새끼야.
Says the boy who's working for a math genius. Okay. So he's going against orders because he hates Sheehan. That guy just needs to prove he's stronger than Sheehan because Sheehan's not scared of him. Shintae's a good kid though. At least he's trying to warn him. Put the rest of the message. You should start with these guys are after you. How about that? Please tell me he put his phone on vibrate. Please.
그냥 학원 잘 들어갔나 해서.
갑자기 그게 왜 궁금한데?
Exactly. The point before you get your ass whooped.
너 학원 잘 갔나 그거 물어보려고. 그래서
Sir,
전화한 거야.
Are you sure the way's clear? Exactly. Walking out careless like.
야, 솔직히 바쿠민 아니야?
People like this absolutely boil my blood. Thank you. Please start smashing heads. I can't. All of these kids can go. The world would be better off.
나 아직 너 친구로 생각해.
You don't.
연합에 들어오는 건 너한테도 괜찮은 제안이야.
Why do you need him to join? Just tell him to step out of the way.
내가 그 양아치 같은 짓거리 왜 안 하는지 정말 모르는 거야? 아니 모르는 척 하는 거야.
Please tell us, because we don't know.
그냥 네가 존나 싫어.
Oh. Simple. Good reason. You have a very punchable face, sir. It is what it is.
멍청한 건 내가 아니라 너 같은데.
Oh, really? That's the best line you got?
고현탁은 잘 지내?
You should, but you shouldn't.
아닐 텐데. 내가 시간이 없거든.
I would watch, because I don't think Big Chin's the kind of guy who fights fair. He looks like a guy who fights like a bitch. He's got skills. We saw that, but that doesn't mean he's not above doing cheap shots. See, I'm one of those people where I'm not going to fight a bully. Honestly, someone like him, especially since we already know that this psycho is a better fighter than Hyuntak, I would just lay in the fetal position and be like, do your worst because bullying is what you do. Stay down for the love of God. Keep coming, dummies. Come on. But be careful. I swear one of them probably has a weapon. They look like these cheap shot type men. Teeth. Please. Teeth. Kasich what? Your mama. See, and he could permanently injure you and he's not, and you're still not learning.
가도 되지?
Okay. Watch those two.
내가 가주는 거야.
That's true. He could kill you. And you know it's true. Which is why you have to do all this extra. But unfortunately, when you're a good person, you always have that weakness of caring about people. And that's where, like Baek-jin, will always have the upper hand. Oh, good. Thank you for the evidence. Yeah, keep filming. We needed evidence. Thank you. I'm not mad because they were going to go after Sheehan anyway. Well, this guy was.
오늘 좀 재밌네. 아 오늘 뭐 내 생일이야? 로또라도 사야 되나 이거?
See, I wouldn't have shown up unless I'd put literal bowling balls into my bag and I would have swung at his head. Sheehan, you don't fight that well, sweetie. You're just angry. I don't think you're fast enough. Oh, the dust helps, though. Why'd you take off his glasses? Those glasses. Respectfully. Oh, he loves pens. Now bite his ankle. Bite it. Give his foot. Fuck up his foot. No. Again. Wow, your lackeys didn't even help you, bro. They hate you too. Sheehan, you need more moves, bro. Step on his toe, bro. Are you dumb? Step on his toe. Take him over the roof. It's right there. There you go. Fight dirty. This fight scene's gone on for 85 years. Why do you keep saying for him to let you go and you keep coming at him, bro? Toe again. Hello? His foot's right there. That was hot, Sheehan. That was hot. That was some raid level stuff right there. Why do they not have guardrails in Korea? Do they not? It's like they're encouraging people to fall over. His balls are right there, Sheehan. But okay. And he's still staring at you like he ain't it. Goddamn! His head still works, and it's hard. Yeah, he's crazy. Oh, I hear police. Thank God. Too late. Oh, come on, guys. Nothing to say?
유진,
He's
괜찮아?
gonna need
야,
a
유진.
minute. He's fine. Let him have a nap.
수호야.
Oh, he's concussed. He's definitely concussed. Bless him. Now, can we just take that jerk and just toss him over the edge? Like who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? Who's gonna miss him? Exactly no one. His own mama, if he even has one, she'll be like, thank you. I should have closed my legs during childbirth. Y'all did me a favor. I'm just saying, there's three of you. I mean, Hyuntak's a little messed up right now, but between, I'm sure you could just up and over. I mean, I'm sure there's like a lower roof, okay? You have to put him all the way to the ground. But just to the next rooftop, just jack him up enough so that he's gonna be in the hospital for like ever. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I feel like he needs that reflective time anyways, because clearly not okay up here. But anyway, wow, that was just 30 odd minutes of fighting. I think we had like 10 minutes of not fighting and the rest was just violence. Stunt coordinators, stunt doubles got their paycheck in this episode. Wow. But yeah, not much to say about it because we didn't get a ton of story in this one. We got Sheehan following the idiot to go see in Baek-jin. And like I said, at first I was kind of like, why is he going? But then after he did it, I'm like, you know what? I don't blame him for trying to dissociate himself from the craziness because he really didn't ask for it. He really didn't. And he was like, yeah, like they've been following me. I'm not friends with them. Like, I don't even want a part of this. I'm trying to go to school and go home. Like, you can do your crime in peace. Like, I'm not going to get involved. And we see that Baek-jin respected that, especially after Sheehan literally solved the math problem he was struggling with. He was like, all right, this guy's actually smart. I get that. And so he said, yeah, okay, as long as you stay away from Baku and that group, I won't touch you. That was what Baekjin said. Now, his idiot minion, on the other hand, is just looking for a fight. Like, that boy either has serious issues with his, genitalia size, or he wasn't loved at home, or his daddy hates him, his mommy hates him, but he definitely hates himself. I don't know, maybe it's a nice melange of all those things, but either way, that man's got issues, and he just can't handle the fact that Sheehan's not scared of him, right? That's what he gets off on, right? He's always looking for it, right? We saw that Sheehan was minding his business when he left the office, and he's like, yeah, don't look at me like that, I'll gouge out your eyes. She wasn't even looking at you, bro. He was literally looking to the exit, but you got mad they didn't acknowledge you. You don't like the fact that he doesn't shrink up and back up every time he sees you, because he knows what you are, which is a coward. Anybody who beats on the weak, people that they know are weaker than they are, is a coward. There's no other word. You're not strong, you're not tough, you're not better, you're a coward. And Sheehan sees that. He sees through all the bullies he's ever encountered. He sees when they are weak cowards, and he doesn't respect them, then he doesn't give them what they want, which is fear. That man needs to feel like he's got the upper hand on people, beating people up because he clearly feels like crap himself. And Sheehan wouldn't give him the satisfaction. So that's why, even though Baekjin told him, we're leaving him alone, he went off script and went after him anyway. And I also think that it was a little bit of a screw you to Baekjin, because he knows he doesn't like the fact that Baekjin's in charge. But my guess is that that's probably the one person in this group he can't physically beat. We saw Baekjin's got skills last episode, right? So I'm thinking in the hierarchy of fights in this crazy group, it's Baku, Baekjin, and then the Psycho. So anyways, yeah, it's one of those situations where, again, Sheehan unsuccessfully tries to detach himself from this group, but it's a little too late now, right? After last episode where he actually started to bond with them, it's not as easy for him. Had this been episode 1, yeah, he definitely would have been like, oh, those guys are getting beaten up. That's too bad. But he actually cares, particularly about Juntae at this point. But then when he heard about what's happening to Hyuntak, right? And he knew, right, that Hyuntak can fight, right? So he knew that if there was something going on, like, first of all, he knew Juntae would just get whooped, but Hyuntak would actually fight. And so you see that he had an immediate reaction when he heard that Juntae was getting hurt, right? He didn't think, he just acted. So clearly Juntae means something to him. And it's understandable, he should, right? Juntae and him have spent a lot of time together lately. And, Juntae is one of the first people, like I mentioned a couple episodes ago, that genuinely sees Sheehan and cares about Sheehan and tries to look out for him, like whether it's getting him supplements or vitamins or telling him what he can do to, get better sleep or whatever it is, right? So all those things, I don't think Sheehan consciously realized how much Juntae has, come to mean to him. And I think he just likes that group because he knows that they're not doing anything. I mean, how do I put this? Now that he knows the story of why everyone looks up to Baku, even though he kind of just didn't say anything during the story, I do think Sheehan respects that Baku is trying to keep this school away from getting hurt and unnecessarily harassed by these psychos in the union, right? So anyway, we see that the conversation between Baekjin and Baku was interesting. We still don't have the history between these two. I'm thinking at some point we're going to have an episode where we actually go back and find out, but what is the beef? Like, what is going on here? Because it looks like they were friends at one point. So where did the divergence happen? Because when you think about it, if anyone was supposed to be more prone to criminal activity, and I'm talking about like the stereotypes, I'm not saying it's true, it would be Baku, right? Comes from, his dad, as we see, not a nice guy. Well, I shouldn't say not a nice guy. He's got rough edges, right? And he's not very nice to Baku at all. Verbally abuses to him. Looks like he drinks a lot. We don't see a mom in the picture. I don't think they're rolling in cash. Point is, stereotypes would dictate that Baku is much more likely to become a kingpin of a phone theft operation. Over from what we've seen of Baekjin, he's a straight A student. He's looked up to at his school. He keeps himself very clean and orderly. We don't know much about him, but it looks to me like he probably comes from at least middle-class family. So all that to say that you would think that Baku would be the one who'd be down for something like this. But the fact that it's the other way around, and it's clearly a personal thing for Baekjin, because we heard his lackey say to him, like, why do you even care about Eunjang? Like, why are we going through all this trouble? Right? He's like, they don't have a lot of money. It's not a district that's going to be that profitable. We could literally leave them alone, right? You could use Baku as the excuse. Like, it's not that big a deal for you to be doing all this. What is the real reason? And he doesn't explain it to him. But I mean, was it last episode? Yeah, I think last episode I was saying that maybe part of it is because if Eunjang is seen to be standing up for themselves, it could set a precedent for other people they try to like overtake later, that, oh, why should we bow when Eunjang hasn't, right? So, when you're in criminal activity, especially if you're doing it by bullying, you can't let the one kid stand up to you, because then, it's going to break the whole chain of command. But I think deeper than that, this is my stab at it, because we don't know anything about their interactions at this point, or their past, I should say. I think that what I just said about how Baku should be the one who's down for this, the fact that Baekjin is the one who's dirtying himself and sullying himself and lowering himself to this cowardly, horrible racketeering, criminal ring, when Baku, who really probably could use it more than this guy, is saying, no, I have integrity and morals and I refuse to do this. I think it's eating Baekjin alive, because this is someone clearly they were friends, and it's probably someone that he actually low-key respects. I think he actually respects the fact that Baku has this level of conviction, but he also hates it because it makes him feel even crappier, right? Because you can't feel good knowing you're doing this. You just can't, right? Like, not if you're a sane person. It's not okay to just go around bullying people. And the fact that Baku is this guy who societally may not be on the same level as Baekjin, yet he's got more morality and more character and more strength of self than Baekjin, I think it just rubs him all the wrong ways, and like I said, makes him feel even worse. So I feel like for him it's personal. I think he wants to pull Baku down into the sewage with him so that he can feel like, see, you're just as bad as me. You're just like me. You can't be above me, not in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to do everything I can to drag you into the mire with me. Because it's so true. Like, this is way too much for one school. One school, one guy. Like, this is way too much. It's absolutely personal. So, sorry, my wind, this is very windy here. But yeah, so anyway, they have that conversation. And, again, we see Baekjin ask him to join the union. And of course, Baku is not very polite when he says, no, forget it. No way, not happening. But of course, he's only there because Baekjin is messing with his entire world, right? Showing that he can disrupt his dad's business and potentially get his whole restaurant shut down, which of course would cause them financial burdens. He's going after his friends, basically saying, I can touch any part of your world that I want until you do what I want. How much are you willing to risk? How many people have to get hurt for you to do what I want you to do? And this isn't the kind of situation, well, I was going to say it's not the kind of situation that Baku can punch himself out of, but you know what? He could have, because we saw as soon as Baekjin mentioned Hyuntak, he grabbed that lamp, and half of me was like, you could end all of this right now, because we already heard that Baekjin's aware of the fact that he can't physically beat Baku. Right? He admitted the fact that if it came down to fisticuffs, Baku would work him. So we know it could have been over right then and there. Baku could have ended it right there. If he takes out someone like Baekjin, the rest of that group would have fallen apart immediately. But that would make him just as bad as Baekjin. Not to mention the fact that I don't think that Baku wants to hurt someone to that level. We saw it even when he was fighting his way out of that office. All the injuries he gave those guys, yeah, some of them were pretty bad, but none of them were things they wouldn't be able to recover from, right? He had that one guy's leg and he had the bowling ball. He could have broken his leg right there so bad that it would never heal properly. He didn't do it. He pressed that bowling ball against that one guy's head, but he didn't hit him with it, right? All the things he did were very controlled, very much, I just want to teach you a lesson. I'm not trying to really hurt you here, which again shows that Baku's actually got morals, something that Baekjin, let me take that back. Baekjin also fights the same way. From what we saw of what happened 2 episodes ago or last episode with the guys in the garage, right? He didn't seriously injure, actually it's not true, he did take out one person's knee. But by and large, I guess is my point, they remind me of very similar fighting styles. Neither of them really go too far. Right. So anyway, we see that that's the main reason I think he didn't actually go through with ending it right then and there. But yeah, things are getting very hard for him because Baku clearly, like I said, this is a conviction for him. He's not just, well, he told Baekjin he's not doing it because he hates him. But honestly, I think it's because he genuinely doesn't want to hurt people like that. He doesn't want to be that guy. And when you have that type of moral conviction, it's very hard to go against it. And, bless him for fighting as hard as he is to not have to do that. But anyway, on the other side of things, we saw that the psychopath took Hyuntak and Jin-tae. Jin-tae, thankfully, they didn't do too much to because I guess he's got that much of a conscience to know that beating on him too much is stupid because Jin-tae can't fight. But of course, Hyuntak, like so many guys in this school, gets riled up really quickly. And I think part of it was also because Hyuntak wanted to kind of prove that he wasn't scared of him, even though this guy clearly messed him up badly before. And I do give Hyun-tak points for that because, you know, that kind of trauma, some of the ways to get past some of that is to kind of push through your fear around it. But I'm pretty sure part of the reason he couldn't fight as well as he probably could have otherwise is because that fear is already in his mind because of the last time he got his butt beat. But anyways, yeah, this guy's just doing what he normally does, you know, just beating up on people because he has no self-esteem. And then Sheehan shows up and Sheehan is tired. He's over it. He's pissed because he's tired of seeing people he cares about suffering. And he thinks it's because of him again, right? Because those guys were looking for him. So anyways, we get another fight. And, you know, one thing I do like about Sheehan's fighting style is that he's got some skill. Like, it's not like he's completely without any skills, but he's not like good, right? Like we saw that in the first season, right? Like he's got moves. He has learned a few things, but you know, Baku could take him out. Baekjin could probably take him out at this point with just pure skill. However, what Sheehan has in spades is just insanity. I don't know what to call it. Like the devil, he actually can tap into a true demon side. And, you know, he really does get an adrenaline rush from fighting. And again, I've said this a couple episodes ago that I do believe that the reason why it's such a crazed thing for him is because he suppresses so much of his emotions, all of them, joy, pain, happy, sad, whatever it is, he suppresses it almost all the time. And so when he finally lets go, which the fighting is like, it's like all those emotions that have been sitting, brimming at the surface, just burst out of him. And it's almost like a high because he's finally releasing it. And that's why you're like, even though he's getting beaten up, he just keeps taking it and keeps going. And you know, the Psycho, like he realized like the Psycho has more skill than Sheehan for sure as far as fighting, but what he doesn't have is a demon. Okay, this guy, the Psycho, the jerk, the minion, he's just like I said, low self-esteem loser, right? Gets off on seeing people hurt. Sheehan has a demon. He literally has a demon that lives inside of him waiting for you to push the button. And that's why even though he was absolutely probably concussed, very severely hurt, but the pure adrenaline of that demon kept him going. To headbutt someone's foot is crazy, okay? Like, what? That's insane. When he's already very, very beaten up, like that's what a demon does. That's when a demon takes over your body and takes over your limbs and literally uses you like a flesh weapon against your opponent, because that's really what it came down to. He was beaten bad and he said, I will use my head if I have to. I will headbutt everything in you. I will knock out your teeth. I will do everything. I swear if he'd broken an arm, he would have taken the limp arm and beaten this guy with it. Like that's the demon that lives in Sheehan. So that's what this Mr. Crazy did not anticipate. Now, oddly enough, he liked it. But honestly, men like him, I get it. Like he needs to get his ass whooped because that's how it makes him feel alive, you know? So anyway, you see that Baku showed up a little too late, but thankfully, I mean, it's good enough. Like they did neither Sheehan nor the lackey needed to do any more at that point. You know, they were starting to tread into territory where it was going to be point of no return. But we'll have to see where we're going to go from here, because we'll see how the lackey responds, I guess is my point, because he was laughing. When he was on the ground there, he was laughing. And I don't think it was like a mocking laugh. I think he was genuinely impressed. And I don't know if that's either going to be a respect thing for him or it's going to become more of an obsession to take Sheehan down at all costs. We'll have to see. But I'm glad that Sheehan did actually stabbing him in the foot with his glasses is crazy. Like Sheehan is the more I think about it. Whew, but anyway, so yeah, we're going to have to see now how things are going to play out from this point, because Baku is in a very precarious position. There's really nowhere for him to go in this situation, in the sense of, you know, if Baekjin's shown that nothing is off limits, right? He's willing to go after Baku's dad. He's willing to go after his friends. Even if Baku were to up and leave, which he's not that kind of guy, I don't think. Like, it's going to leave Eunjang wide open, first of all. But I feel like Baekjin's the kind of guy that's not going to let him do that. Like, he'd probably do things to bring him back, because what he wants more than anything is for Baku to break in front of him. He wants Baku to bend knee. So he's not going to let him just walk away. So what's the thing to do? What's going to happen? I mean, Sheehan's in it now. I think that's the other thing too. Sheehan before had the option, like the last doorway for him to potentially get out of this is now closed, that he went and made it very clear that he's willing to defend these two. So we're going to have to see. Like, I feel like they need to work together now. Honestly, I don't know if they're the best group to work together, because the only level-headed one in the group is Juntae. But at least if they combine their skills, I feel like they'll have a better shot than, you know, all of them kind of having this piecemeal little fights here and there because, yeah, Baekjin is not a dummy. He's very calculated in the way that he works. So, yeah, they're going to have to figure out a way to get under that man's skin to finally get him to slip up and be a little bit more messy. Otherwise, yeah, it's just the sheer numbers of it all is what's going to end up overwhelming them. But anyway, it was a adrenaline episode, that's for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.